One thing I don't think that's talked about enough is when women who are neurodivergent go through life and have no guidance. So I actually, from 1 to 13 years old, I had epilepsy, and I still have some remnants of being epileptic with minor memory loss here and there, and sometimes when I pause when I talk and everything. But for the most part, no one can actually tell that I had epilepsy. Thank God that I made it this far, because a lot of people don't who've had it. And also with having 2 children, one with ADHD and one with autism, I can tell that I actually have both, because my children are a lot like me. Even though they're different, they're a lot like me. And I feel like I'm an undiagnosed person that's on the spectrum and has ADHD. But with that being said, I feel like a lot of times when you're neurodivergent, people purposely will not guide you through life and allow you to make a lot of mistakes. I don't know if it's from jealousy or is it just because they feel like you're not going to make it that far in life anyways. And a lot with me, I feel like it was a little bit of both, because I actually taught myself how to drive, how to cook, how to clean myself, how to actually clean my home, makeup, feminine things. Some things I learned from my mom. I taught myself self-love, self-value, self-respect, things that my father should have taught me. I learned those on my own. So basically, I pretty much raised myself. And plus, I had one child at 26 and the other at 32. But at both of those ages, now looking back, since I've learned a lot through life, I didn't like looking back at myself. I don't particularly feel like I was developed for those ages. I was very my mindset, it wasn't there for a 26-year-old. I felt like I was probably still a teenager, and at 32, it was like I was still in my 20s, which granted, I don't feel like I'm my age, which I will be 42 this year. But I still don't even feel like I'm 42, because I just don't. I mean, I look real young, but at the same time, I just don't feel my age. But I'm mentally and emotionally mature now, which I wasn't at those ages. And it's just so crazy to me how people allow their children and nieces and nephews, or people they say that they love, who they see who are neurodivergent or heading down the wrong path, anything, they will just let them do it. They don't care. And yeah, I feel like a lot of it is jealousy. It's jealousy coded. Because until this day, I don't have anybody that I could say that is my best friend. I have always been a friend of people's, but I have never actually had a best friend in my life. I've had fake friends. I've had friends people who are actually friends, but I've never been anyone's best friend. It's like I'm a floater in life. And I don't know. I guess I just said all that just to say, if y'all know somebody who is neurodivergent, be kinder to them, because life is already hard enough for us. It's like everybody out here want to be neurodivergent, but it's a lot different. It's more than what people think it is. Because still, sometimes I don't know, I feel like I just don't belong. I never actually really fit in any group. But at the same time, I fit in with everybody, but I didn't. And it's real lonely. And then when you're a beautiful person inside and out, people don't think that it's much harder to make friends. A lot of times, some people just want to be your friends to steal your light, and other times, people just want to be your friend just to say that they're your friend, just to get more attention from people because they see the attention that you get. And I don't know. I've been the skinny friend, I've been the fat friend, I've been the chubby friend. At one point I felt like I was ugly, but when I look back at my pictures, I wasn't ugly. I just didn't feel as beautiful as other people. I've just, and at most stages of my life, I felt horrible, and it's taken so long for me to know who I am and to know who I am in God, and that I'm a child of God, and praying over myself and over my children. I don't know. I guess I'm just having a rant. It's just about being kinder to people, because throughout my life, I really haven't had a lot of people that have been kind to me. But I have had people been kind to me when it counts. I really have. And then sometimes I had people have been nice to me just because they wanted to see me down. So sometimes, too, if you're neurodivergent, you have to decipher whether or not somebody is kind to you and want to be your friend so they can watch you be down and feel better about themselves, or they genuinely want to be there and help and be your friend. That's why it's very, very important to have a connection to God, to spirit, to be able, just pray over yourself and pray over your children, over your household and stuff, because you can't invite everybody to your house. You can't have everybody touching your hair and all this other stuff. I mean, I have siblings, and I'm only close with my brother, and we're not even as close as we used to be. And I don't know, everything just feel like so different in life. But I try to focus on the positive. A lot of times I do focus on the positive. And I'm very blessed despite my situation in life. I am very, very blessed, because a lot of things I went through in my life, a lot of people didn't make it through. Being a neurodivergent person, and I've had a lot of people just call me a blonde, say I'm stupid, and all this other stuff. But little did they know, my brain wasn't functioning the way everybody else's was at that age. And no, I'm not saying this to have pity for myself. I'm just saying, I actually have a heart for the girl, for the woman that I was, for the child that I was, and the things that I've went through. And now, I know how to protect my children, and I know how to protect myself. A lot of people who are neurodivergent don't have anybody protecting them and standing up for them. But anyways, I don't know what else to talk about. It was just on my heart. God just put it on my heart to say it. Because shout out to Exoticals United. I think that's the channel that I watch. No, Exotic Brown Skin. No, Exotic Brown Skin, that's it. Yeah, she's very positive. Because a lot of these Exoticals, or even if it's Exotical or dark skin or light skin channels, they lift each other up by putting other people down. But Exotic Brown Skin, she doesn't do that. She actually, talk about the issues and stuff and lift people up, like black women and exotic black women, just exotic women, but the brown skinned black women who are exoticals and stuff. And at the same time, she don't put anybody down. And she said she was neurodivergent too, and I really like her channel. So, and she talk about her experiences, and I like her channel. She's real cool. But yeah. I think that's all for today for my little rant. Thank you for listening. If you got this far, I love you and God bless.